Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Hebrew Bible. Today, I am working with the 21st part of the 27th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the 24th chapter of the book of Zion. I'm in the middle of a dissertation, so I'm just going to start where I left off. In the future, the Temple of Zion will be the seat of authority and interplanetary politics. The Temple at Jerusalem will be the holy temple of prayer. Each nation will have its own temple, each one being part of a single temple complex, a house of prayer for all people. The Zionite priests gather to camp. We go on strike from our jobs. We demand a true hearing concerning the laws against our way of life. We call upon the Gray as priests. We pledge ourselves to serve the Gray as God and humanity as priests. We are visited. We are found innocent and given Zion as our recompense. We are given the mountains for our homeland. When that happens, our joy will be so great. We will build the council of elders a house as beautiful as our joy. We will offer our burnt offerings every time we smoke a bowl. We will serve as priests. We will offer up our lives in service to all through the temple complex. We will joyfully work for God on high, maintaining the house of prayer for all people. This is a Bible passage. The Lord God, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith, Yea, yet will I gather others to him besides those that are gathered to him. This verse is a reminder to both Israel and Ishmael. The Gray have chosen others besides the blooded Jews in Islam. And if either house of Abraham had been acceptable to God, Zion would not be necessary. Zion represents all those who are gathered to Abraham, even as I have been gathered to Abraham. So both of the families of Abraham are reminded that others, not of the blood, will be saved through Abraham, but not by the blooded Jews, not by Islam. The Gray chose my people to do the work intended for Israel, to gather them also to Abraham. The entire reason Abraham's children were separated from others was to create a unique priesthood independent of all nations, subject to, not subject to the primitive human nature, a family of priests to serve humanity for the duration of the isolation. The family of Abraham was intended to serve humanity in the interim. But neither house of Abraham, Israel, or Ishmael ever became the priests the Gray intended them to be. Neither branch of the bloodline bothered to do God's will. Israel wanted to be like all other nations, not to be a nation of priests, and Islam just never seemed to want it. They wanted revenge from Israel and their father's rejection of Ishmael. So neither brother took up the calling of the priesthood. So Zion was created. We are not of the blood. Maybe some of us are. We are of the spirit of Abraham. Our father Abraham was a friend of the Gray. He worked with them to ensure the future of humanity, but his true descendants rejected his inheritance. So Abraham left his message to the priests of Zion, adopted children, who embody his spirit and knowledge. He did so through his actual children, but Israel and Ishmael, who had rejected Abraham's priestly heritage, required a third house. If either bloodline had heeded the Gray or their father's wishes, this would be a wonderful society, like Zion will be. There wouldn't be any need for Zion. But neither son was obedient to their father's wishes, nor were they meant to. Neither did take the family's obligation to be the priests of the Gray. Instead, they chose to be humans, not to serve humans. So as a result, humanity went native. We had no God to advise us, no living God. We had no means to overcome our baser instincts. So we reverted to a more primitive state. Jews were meant to be priests of the grey, not ordinary humans. We can't change the fact that Israel failed us, nor can we look to Ishmael for salvation. Neither bloodline has the desire to be priests. They don't feel the call on high. They fear the voice of God. They just never embraced their family's heritage. Neither bloodline followed in their father's footsteps. Nothing can change that fact. However, I have. That is why Zion was created. To be by nature what Israel and Ishmael are not. Because it takes a certain type of person to be able to give of themselves for others. To dedicate your life to aliens who require you to give up your free will so that they can use your body, that isn't easy. Zion was created to do just that. To be a priest of the grey, you must be a telepath. Drug use is required. But not everyone finds drug use tolerable. Some people just aren't meant to serve. Not through drugs. Not God on high. The Zionite priesthood was created by gathering together all those who by nature enjoy the drugs. Therefore, creating a priesthood that wants to do drugs and who by nature of drug use become telepathic, therefore capable of being the priests. But it's not just that we enjoy our drug use. We also have a desire to create joy and unity. We by nature are humanitarians. We are helpful. We do tend to seek out those in need to give them aid. And we are communal. We also have the desire to serve others. We by nature are priests. We serve others. It's not just the drug use that makes us Zionite. We embody humanitarian service. That is true Zionite. And it is our job to do that. To do what Ishmael never considered, and what Israel rejected outright. We are to serve humanity. We are the voice of grey. We speak God's words. We provide for the needs of all humans. Ishmael never thought to take up the priestly duties Israel refused to do. So Zion was created to do what no blooded son of Abraham would. We Zionite priests will gather to Abraham, roughly 1/3 of the human population. Abraham's mission is to save life on earth. Brothers, you missed the whole point of being sons of Abraham. You were supposed to guide humanity through time. You were supposed to advance all humans. You were supposed to serve humanity. But instead, you rejected your heritage. You are descended from the high priest of the grey. Our father Abraham was given the knowledge of the pre-flood priesthood. He was a true priest. He embodied the God. He didn't pay lip service. He was the lip service. The lips that spoke the words of God. That's your true heritage. To embody God. To be priests of grey. So we who are the embodiment of the priesthood will now take over our rightful place in the family of Abraham. We will take the robes of the priesthood. We will give aid to all who seek us. We will take up the ancient right of priests. We will become what Abraham always intended his children to be, priests of the grey. And as priests of gray, it is our duty to gather all who seek salvation. We will gather not only our family of Abraham, but all humans who choose to be saved by us. We will be the salvation of life on earth. We will provide for the future generations of life on this planet. We will ensure that there will always be sons and daughters born to Abraham. We will prepare a mountain ark system that will ensure the survival of not just humans, but other life forms on earth. True priests respect all life. We, as true priests, will safeguard all life on earth. So, we priests of Zion will gather together all humans who are able to see the truth of prophecy. The Great always intended to save us, not just the descendants of Abraham. Abraham's, Abraham's family was meant to save others, not themselves. That was the distinction. There can be no infidel, nor can there be a non-Jew. All humans are the children of God equally. All descendants of Abraham are obligated to serve all of humanity. We save them, all of them, that will let us. Jeremiah 4:6, Zion 24:29. Set up a standard toward Zion. Retire, stay not, for I will bring evil upon the north and a great destruction. This is why we must create Zion and gather together as many of us as we can. We have to prepare for what is coming. This destruction of the north and this great evil are unavoidable. The only way to survive is to prepare. We have to save ourselves. I can't tell you when this event will occur, but it's not the firestorm. This is a localized event in the north. It will be in itself twofold, an evil and a great destruction. The evil will no doubt lead to the exodus of Zion. This event is diabolical. To have the majority of the labor force just leave, that is truly an evil act of inspiration. But it's not the great destruction. It's only the north that is involved. That pretty much rules out Yellowstone. If Yellowstone blew, the entire world would suffer from it, and there would be a volcanic winter. Our future destruction on the global scale is by fire, not by ice. So the great destruction of the north won't be Yellowstone. I'm pretty sure that the evil will be the chaos ensued by the departure of the Zionites to the Rocky Mountain states. That mass exodus will break down a lot of America's industrial base. There just won't be workers to maintain the economy. America as a world power will cease to exist. America as a nation is doomed by the Zionite exodus. But that won't be the Great Destruction. That will spell the true end of the northern domination in world affairs. I'm tending towards the collapse of the Ogallala Aquifer. That would be a great northern destruction. It would also fit other verses, the great noise, the shaking of the earth, the need to be encased in a mountain. The collapse of the Ogallala would be heard and felt around the world. And there I'm going to end for the day, and we will take up where we left off next time. Until then, may the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Be the joy, people. Stay happy and high. Know that I love you. I'll see you soon at our great big campout. Till then, later, 'cause I'll never say goodbye.